modification to the sign ordinance or sign rules that we have for festivals. We have Heritage Day Festival coming up in a few weeks, and one of my concerns is we have had a significant advertising and marketing effort that we hope to attract people in from well outside the Alleghany Highlands. And while Clifton Forge is not that large, it still is not comfortable, that's not the right word. It's not known to the folks who are coming here. And so we are wondering, or we're asking the town to consider using Heritage Day as a trial situation for festivals. And that is, we would work, the group that's put together Heritage Day would be happy to work with town staff and come up with some things that we think might be helpful in directional means for folks coming into the community and yet not disrupt the beauty of the community. I can understand why we don't want a lot of signs on town posts and all those kinds of things, but perhaps for weekends or festivals or special events we might be able to do that. I think we can anticipate a similar kind of thing in the fall when Con of the Mountain occurs, because there we're anticipating between 2,000 and 3,000 people, and I can assure you that most of those people will come from outside the Alleghany Highlands. So I'm asking for your consideration. I don't know what the answer is to this, but I think if we can come up with a way to handle special events and festivals and those kinds of things, which gives a little latitude to our current sign rules, I think it would be helpful, very helpful to the people coming into the community and helping direct people to the activities that are going on.
So are you going to submit a proposal, or what do you want us to consider? What do you find limiting, and how will you address that?
I think I'm not real sure exactly what we can do. The problem we have, it appears that we can put on private property, we can put wherever we have approval for the property owner. But in terms of the directional signs, the ones that are what I'll call the election signs that you see in people's yards are low. And so if you're driving in, you don't always see those, as are the tent signs that we have that we use quite frequently. I don't know what the answer is. I'm just hoping that between the town staff, which has a lot more expertise and experience in these kinds of things than us, we can come up with some alternatives. Whether it's for parking or just directional kinds of things to get people to different parts of town. I don't have the answer. I just know that I don't think we can do what we have done in the past. I'm saying compliance and get the people where we need to have them with the signs that with the limitations we've had in the past.
So this is, we're really talking about directional signage. So for instance, registration booth with an arrow pointing that way, that kind of thing?
Yeah, or event, even event signs that we can get people to come in. We want get people from coming off road. We want to get people to the Rose Street parking lot. We don't want to have them come to commercial to get back over there. And so we need to have some kinds of signage to get them in different places. We've identified a lot of different ways to get different areas that we want to have some sort of directional indicator. And some of it is for events. Some of it is to get people from one, for example, from the amphitheater to the town hall parking lot to the Heritage Center. So it's just moving people through as quickly and as efficiently as possible, whether they're on foot or whether they're driving.
And in this instance that you're talking about, the Heritage Day people will be responsible for one, putting up the signs, and two, taking them down at the end of the day?
Yes, Heritage Day is a single thing. I think we have to look at, when there's multi-day festivals, how long we can leave them up for. We may only have to have them up the first day or second day. But those are things that I think we just need to work through and experiment a little bit with the staff and the folks who are organizing them to see what works.
So are you willing to meet with the staff?
Absolutely.
And this has to be happening pretty quickly because Heritage Day is
3 weeks and 4 days of the paper, yes.
So one of the questions I have, would this be something that, if it's going to say event and an arrow, that kind of thing, Does it need to be specific to the event, or is this something, some kind of sign that the town can use and they can put up for every big event?
I think it makes sense to have, and I think the event providers or the event organizers would be willing to pay for them. But yeah, if we can make them universal, then we don't have to have everybody have our own set of signs and do those kinds
So
of
they
things.
can be used for the fall festival also?
Absolutely. We've already done that with
Stars
the
and
Trade
Stripes.
Festival and the Heritage Festival
Right.
in the past. So I think it's a matter of how can we make this most cost-effective and best way to get people through the community.
Any other questions?
Just the same thing I talked about a little while back, like we had to train. This is actually like you want to do the same thing.
I think it would address some of the issues. I'm not really up on
Yeah,
what's happened, but yeah,
We had a
hope-
train show and had things
Yeah,
set up.
I would hope what we would do is, I have a pretty good understanding of most everything of the festival kinds of things that are going on. Fall Festival is a little bit different because I think that group is more returning group. It's like a reunion kind of thing. What we're doing is bringing more folks into the community, and we want them to be very comfortable here and come back. We want to spend lots of money, and so we want to get them into stores, get around town as easily as possible. But I think we can look at this on a macro basis. We don't need to have a whole set of different signs. I think we can identify the parking areas that are available. We can identify where the events are typically held, and just combine them. So whether it's the Armory, whether it's the amphitheater, whether it's the CNO Heritage area, I think we can make this a universal kind of thing, and then we figure out where we store the signs and do those kinds of things.